You're welcome back again on this platform that tells you undiluted truth. And in this moment of truth, we are still exposing the Tinubu's CSU gate, the academic record scandal, which had become a national global embarrassment to Nigerians.
Having followed a prolonged identity crisis that recently played out in American court system and the controversy surrounding the authenticity of the Chicago State University credentials of Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I must confess I'm distressed as a Nigerian. In addition to the barrage of media frenzy that the matter has triggered at home and abroad, I have had the unwholesome burden of responding to embarrassing questions about the Nigerian overall credibility as a nation to privileged audience and individuals both at home and abroad in different parts of the world I've traveled recently. To the outsiders, the entire Chicago University matter, as well as Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu's many other lingering identity question marks, have further worsened Nigerian less than glorious image internationally. Uninformed outsiders now see every Nigerian as a fraudster, certificate forger, or identity thief.
I want to let you know that a former student of the institution and the staff of the institution has come forward, not just to expose and substantiate what had been discovered and uncovered of the man Tinubu, but also the institution, how corrupt, that he is not surprised that the management of the institution is caught in the trap of this whole mess.
So just to, give your listeners a background about me, I attended Chicago State University in the late 90s. I worked as the editor of the school newspaper for 3 years.
Oh, yeah. That's the Tempo, right?
Yes, that is Tempo,
yes,
the
please.
university newspaper, which the university shut down a few years ago. So one thing that your viewers and listeners all need to understand is that the university itself does not have a student newspaper. And that is one of the biggest problems right there, that there is nobody to hold that administration accountable.
But Tempo was a university-based newspaper at the time you were there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We had a newspaper. The newspaper was around for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
And then the university shut it down in recent years. And there's been so much that's gone on in Chicago State in the last 10 to 15 years. So it actually does not surprise me that they are in the middle of this international incident because of the dysfunction that happens at that university. And it starts at the highest level, being the office of the president of the university, down to the members of the board of trustees who are appointed by the governor of Illinois. So that this situation, this sad situation that we're currently talking about is occurring is not a shock to me at all.
Are you subtly accusing the management of the university of some complexity in one way or the other? It sounded somehow like that. Is that what you're saying? That they cannot be totally exonerated from the things that happen in the school. Is that what you're saying?
I am absolutely saying that.
Oh, wow.
I would not be surprised if, as we keep learning more information about this, that there are people inside that university that were conspirators in this whole thing. That would not shock me at all. We cannot prove that yet, but that would not surprise me. And I say that because you have to understand the history of Chicago State. You have to realize that Chicago State has had a former president that was federally convicted of crimes. They had a financial aid director that was federally convicted of crimes, and these people went to prison. This is not a surprise to me that they're in the middle of this mess. Not at all, Precious.
Oh, wow. All right. Interesting. So, when it comes to the administration of the school proper, how what kind of due diligence would you say the school actually does, in background checks of the academic records that are submitted by students prior to admission into the school, or for admission into the school?
So I would say that in terms of what we're talking about in terms of with the Nigerian president, we also have to put it in the context of that this happened back in the 1970s.
Absolutely, yes.
So absolutely, now today the technology has definitely changed.
Yes.
Back in the 70s, there's no telling what they were doing. I doubt they verified probably anything back in the 70s. So that is why I'm saying I could definitely understand how this situation got to where it is today, because we're talking about an institution back in the 70s that was doing things that were probably crazy back then. It's just the fact that the things that came out in the deposition and just some of the contradictory statements that we heard from the deposition, that's par for the course at Chicago State. I've covered this university for over 20 years, and they talk out of both sides of their mouth all the time. It is very difficult to get information out of this university.
Oh, wow. So you're saying that university management hasn't been quite honest with students and straightforward in the dealings? Is that what you're saying?
Never have been.
Oh,
never
wow.
have been.
Oh, wow.
No. And I'm not just saying that. You can ask any Chicago State alum, and they'll tell you the exact same thing. So, one of the things I find is funny, Precious, is that people in Nigeria have been asking me, well, how do you feel about all this bad press that's now coming down on the university you attended? And I was like, I'm absolutely happy. Because it's now shining a spotlight on Chicago State on an international level, which means now they got to get their acts together or they're going to be heads rolling. And I would not be surprised if the governor of Illinois, as this thing keeps going on, the governor, J.B. Pritzker, if he absolutely steps in and we start seeing board of trustee members resigning or being removed, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the president eventually taking the downfall for this. There's a lot more to this story. And what I'll say is that it's because of the culture of Chicago State and the culture of dysfunction and the history of corruption that they've had within their administration. None of this is shocking to me. It's shocking to you. It's shocking to people in Nigeria. This is not shocking to journalists in the city of Chicago.
That is it. Come to think of it, the most important and most expository is this social security number.
There was a social security number on that particular document which Bola Ahmed Tinubu used to gain admission into Chicago State University. There were lots of controversies saying the gender on that particular certificate was female. Yes, it was female, and I wanted to know why it is female. Why should it be a female gender there? Is the president a woman? All right, so I delved into investigation. On that particular document, the social security number on the Chicago State University academic records was issued in Virginia in 1976 to a female. Look at the social security number on your screen, all right? 231/06/0595. It was issued, that particular security number, when we followed it up according to investigations and sources, we had to, of course, delve into it, because if that particular gender is showing female, that means this social security number should be checked. So I decided to check, and while we checked with our investigators, we saw that it belonged to a female, okay, and it was issued in Virginia 1976. All right, now listen to how everything unfolded. I'm going to be sharing lots of secrets about how everything unfolded. All right, as after the release of Chicago State University, of his record and all that, this security number was established by us and my investigators, and we first of all verified this social security number SSN to establish its authenticity. which was successful, as you can see on your screen. It was successfully searched and it was verified that that particular SSN or social security number was actually valid, and it was issued to somebody in Virginia in 1976. We then proceeded to uncover the information of the registered owner. Pay attention, because I'm leading you carefully. Yes, I will lead you safely and carefully. This particular investigation and this expose will go far to expose lots of things that the Chicago State University documents did not expose.
Social security number, each of the students of the institution are known and identified by a social security number. A citizen of United States of America. Tinubu said he is not a citizen of anywhere. He didn't declare that. And it's all, caught in the web of this whole scandal. There are more to come. The full video of this interactive, I just have to crop out a few words. Watch the entire details, uncut, uncensored, on BVI Channel 1 Plus. That's why we have that platform, BVI Channel 1 Plus, PLUS. Look for it, and I can tell you, you'll be getting uncensored, unadulterated, and the whole of the videos. We are even making some, kind of analysis upon. Here we don't want to bore you with the details, but there you get the detailed information. So go there, search out for those videos, and we are dropping it as it is happening on that platform. So make use of that platform, subscribe on it, BVI Channel 1 Plus, and you will not miss anything. So there I publish everything about this whole saga as emanating from this former student. Keep watching, keep subscribing, keep sharing. What's your thought on this? Drop it on the comment section, and together we will dismantle these structures of impunity in the name of a government piloting the affairs of Nigerians. Bye-bye for now.